Thanks, Mary Jean.
All good. Councillor Crowe.
Good afternoon, everybody, councillors and staff, and welcome to the September meeting of Murrumbidgee Council. In the spirit of open, accessible and transparent government, and to ensure this meeting is open to the public, this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed to the Murrumbidgee Council Facebook page. A recording will also be placed on council's website following. Call for any apologies? No apologies. We'll move to the minutes of the ordinary council meeting of the 24th of August 2021. Somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Jurgen, seconded Councillor Smith. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. I remind you all of your pecuniary interest declarations. Are there any declarations to be submitted before we go any further? If not, we'll move on. We'll move to the first item of business, which is a notice of motion regarding the Darlington Point Daycare Centre.
Councillor Gilbert, you put forward a notice of motion to seek some sources of funding for the construction of the daycare within Darlington Point. We've gathered some information in relation to how to go about that. The funding streams that are available would require a feasibility study. So I think on discussion, do you wish to change your resolution that Council proceed with the development of the feasibility study for the Darlington Point daycare?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to speak on that at all?
Yeah, just so we want to look into the feasibility of building and operating a preschool centre within Darlington Point. So there's no available positions up to 6 to 12 months within the Griffith area. Collie Embley is probably the same. I think they're booked out. You just cannot get any children in. With us now in the process of doing our subdivision, we really need to open up the prospect of people moving from Griffith, Leeton areas, younger families coming into our area where we've got these sort of facilities to help out the families. And I'm happy for a feasibility study to be done to
move.
See how this goes, if I can move that.
Okay, moved by Councillor Gilbert, seconded by Councillor Curfew. And the resolution will read that resolved on the motion of Councillors Gilbert and Curfew that Council undertake a feasibility study for a daycare centre at Darlington Point. I'll put that. Those in favour, please raise your hand. Those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 1, which is the mayoral report. You might have gathered by this, considering we were in lockdown, just about every meeting we attended was via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or some other foreign entity, which is challenging to say the least. And just when we thought all avenues of whatever misadventure might occur, we actually all experienced an earthquake of some description last week, which was challenging. Well, really, we thought enough's enough, but that's what keeps coming our way. This month we experienced lockdown, and it's given us a first-hand view again of just how challenging the reality of this pandemic is. Everybody's sick of it. If we've been listening to the combat issues between our premiers in the last week or so, they're challenged as to how to work our way forward through this. But I think New South Wales is showing signs of moving back to a new COVID normality. That will bring its own set of challenges and issues with it, but we can only hope that we are well enough placed to manage our emergence out of this really challenging period of time. The colour codings of extreme risk, and whatever else comes with it is still causing us issues in trying to access particularly services from Victoria. which speaks very clearly to our major projects, which are still in a state of limbo. But I am sure that the minute they get the go ahead, they will be up here to complete, particularly the sporting precinct at Collyambley. It's great that our schools had reopened, even though it was only a week before the kids went on school holidays. It was a very welcome reprieve for both the kids and the parents, or parents who are trying to homeschool their kids. They've had 2 weeks holidays and they'll be back at school, soon. So that's good. Let's hope that is able to continue. Spring is here. The weather is very changeable. We are due to get more rain this week, but the season is looking fantastic. So let's hope that it continues to be as productive as we all hope. Agriculturally, it's busy. Our ram sales have happened in our area. We're close to the change in our watering regimes that come with daylight saving. So any opportunity any of us get to remind our communities of the water-wise use, that would be really good. With the with a really good season has come lots of growth. So also when we're speaking to those in our community, remind them to give some attention to the yards and their surrounds where they live, because mitigation for fire is going to be a big issue. And I did say that the snakes are very active and cranky as they wake up from their winter sleep. So just another reminder that the local government elections, which were meant to be held on the 4th of September, will now be the 4th of December. So there are some information webinars and things out there available for people to listen to. And if anybody asks us, encourage people to have a think about it. And there are just meetings that I attended, lots of water meetings, local health advisory committee meetings, Timberway promotional committee meetings, community engagement forums over 4 days for the Sidland projects, which was very challenging because there was 2 First Nations sessions and 3 general community sessions. So that was an education in staying the distance. And that's about all that's happened. Are there any questions from the floor, please? If not, somebody like to move Councillor Curfew, seconded Councillor Smith. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. Item 2, please.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. The Local Government Act stipulates for councils that the elected representatives appoint the mayor, but this must happen at the 2 years in September, every 2 years. Anomaly, they pushed the election out to the 4th of September from last year, so all councils that weren't subject to a merger did their mayoral and deputy mayoral election last year. This year, even though the term is meant to end in December, we must, in accordance with the Act, hold a mayoral and a deputy mayoral election. I do have nominations, one nomination for the Mayor, Councillor Ruth McRae, and for Deputy Mayor, Councillor Robert Black. Last call for anybody who wishes to nominate for the position of Mayor. Take that as a no. Is there anybody wishing also to nominate for the position of Deputy Mayor? I see no show of hands. As there is only one nominated for Mayor, I declare Councillor Ruth McRae as Mayor uncontested, and Councillor Robert Black Deputy Mayor uncontested. Declared. Just a round of applause. Yes, there we go.
We need to stipulate that is only until the election on the 4th of December.
No, we're not stipulating that at all. It is for a 2-year term. You will automatically, if they go ahead with the election on the 4th of December, you will be
Mayor.
built at that time. If they don't go ahead with it on the 4th of December, you'll stay mayor until September 2023, unless they hold the election in between.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Until the next election. That's all it means, but not exceeding 2 years. Yeah.
So you want me to take out which part?
No.
No.
You don't need to.
I'll just leave it as is?
Yep.
Do I have to read that resolution out loud?
It's not a resolution.
No,
It's not a resolution, no,
Okay,
it's
just
just
business.
thing.
Okay.
We've already spoken about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Item 3, please.
Item number 3 is just council meetings, which we're setting down the council meetings for October and November 2021.
Or until the next council election.
No, in October 2021, if we will know by November council meeting if the election has been postponed, and then we will just set up for new council meeting dates as that. If we set those council meeting dates, then they'd be set. There'll be no council meeting in December as such, unless we hold the first meeting of the council so I can swear it in all councillors and take the oath of office and set up everything that we're going through right now, do the mayor and the deputy mayor election, do the committee election again in December. That'll be something that earliest that could happen is around about the 21st of December. The latest that could happen is early January, because we've got 3 weeks from the date the election is declared to determine the mayor election, and at that time we normally do the first council meeting election and all of that at that time. So that's the money we've got. So we have to determine closer on to the date whether we're going to have a council meeting a couple of days before Christmas or wait until January to hold the first meeting of council. So that's when we'll determine what the new dates are for the council meeting. I'll call the first council meeting election, give everybody the 2 days notice once we know everything else like that, and go from there to have that. So all we're setting down now is October and November, and the 4th Tuesday of the month, with the venues alternatively between Jerilderie and Darlington Point. We still, which we'll speak about under the COVID provisions, as mentioned with this, we could have held this meeting as a meeting online, except for the fact that the anomaly of the act in the council election would mean that you all would be in this room if we did a paper ballot, hence why we're here. But under the COVID rules, at least until the 1st of December, we'll be giving the option of having it online. So the meeting would be alternate or online come forth. So that's just a recommendation. If there's any questions.
Somebody like to move? Move Councillor Brown, seconded Councillor Smith, and the recommendation will read that A, council schedule monthly council meetings for the 4th Tuesday of the months of October 2021 and November 2021. B, council meetings commence at 3 p.m. and C, that the meeting venues alternate between Jerilderie and Darlington Point. Okay, I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you.
So, as the anomaly of the appointment to committees, we've had just from the running sheet just a couple of changes as identified in the way that the committees work. Is the traffic committee, the voting delegate be the director of infrastructure, and Councillor Black to be the chair, with the alternate chair being...
So that, yeah, delete that. Good.
It's delegate to chair, yep. Of the traffic committee, and Councillor Bryce, Mid-Murray Zone Bushfire Management Committee is withdrawn from being the delegate on that. Apart from that, all of the other is to remain the same. Any comments, changes, questions?
Would somebody like to move? Can move Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Gilbert. And the recommendation reads that council representatives, as detailed in the table, be appointed to standing and special committees, section 355 committees, advisory, external and internal committees. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gray. Just my report for the month. Just a couple of things. The COVID-19, our action plan stays as it is, no changes. We just roll with what the state is allowing us to do in our areas of lockdown and non-lockdown. The roadmap for ACT, New South Wales and Victoria, it has been virtually enshrined, and so once the 70% double dose, the 80% double dose, and what they're expecting the 90% double dose in New South Wales to be the 1st of December, a lot more freedoms will occur in relation to that. Even under the 70% and the 80% double dose, we still offer to allow people to work from home if practical, so the same will be for the councillors. And then on the 1st of December, that requirement will be that each of the organisations, each employer determines how that moves forward. There's no mandatory health order on that. And the other things, I encourage everybody to go online and look at those roadmaps. They're fairly easy to read and say exactly what can and can't be done for the fully vaccinated for 70 and 80%, and then all the unvaccinated, everybody come the 1st of December. Annual leave, as council would be aware, I had a day in August cancelled due to COVID. I'm not going anywhere special, just on the 15th of November. We should take that day as annual leave. The Darlington Point Caravan Park Master Plan has been out on public display. We received 7 responses by the 31st of August and did the assessment on those. We received another one on the 14th of September post. So we've written back to that person to explain that they didn't make the cutoff to put forward, but anything that they've said there, those comments, we'll take into consideration moving forward. There was nothing in any of all the comments that we received that would warrant a change to the master plan as it was. We've got a grant coming forward from New South Wales Regional Sports. A couple of options that were there with a splash park at Collyambly and Jerilderie, or change rooms and filtration systems kiosks at Collyambly and Darlington Point swimming pools. Based on all of the brainstorming that we did, they're the two that are most likely to. We have a best chance because we've got until the 8th of October to submit the applications in relation to those. So, but my recommendation would be that we move forward on the splash parks, because we've got a lot more information in relation to that, having worked on the splash park for Darlington Point and already undertaking some of the master planning for the parks around, that it sort of meets a lot of the from there. So any questions?
Any questions? If not, would somebody like to move please? Recommendation from the General Manager's report. Moved Councillor Smith, seconded Councillor Churgwin. That the contents of the General Manager's monthly report be noted, and Council A, approve the annual leave request for the General Manager John Scarce for Monday the 15th of November 2021. B, adopt the Darlington Point Caravan Park Master Plan. And C, authorise a grant funding application under the New South Wales Regional Sport Facility Fund for the construction of splash parks at Collyambly and Jerilderie. I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor McRae. Council is aware that we've probably got 1 month's worth of work at the Colliamley Sports Precinct before it's completed. Unable to give a time frame of when construction could recommence, but we constantly, one of our impediments is workforce from Victoria coming forth. They can't come through us to the bubble. We've repeatedly made representations to Luke Wilson, who's the Cross-Border Commissioner for Victoria, and James McTavish, Cross-Border Commissioner for New South Wales. Even to the point on the cross-border, two cross-border commissioners have a meeting every Monday and Thursday, and on the meeting yesterday with all of the CEOs in the what used to be the bubbles, which we were one until Murrumbidgee Council was taken out. Even representations from Berrigan there saying, has due consideration been given to Murrumbidgee coming back into the bubble? And the answer was, and it's the answer that we've been getting back, that they're more focused on the complete roadmap, and they believe that by the time they got through the negotiations or the places where they had to with Victoria Health, that will be at our 70% or our 80% mark, and they're actually talking about the whole border opening up, not just the whole of New South Wales and Victoria opening up, not just parts of it. So with those timeframes being within the next month to 6 weeks, maybe, the work will recommence and then a month past that. But that's getting off the point a little bit in relation to it. But so as part of it, we sent out to the 4 users that we've been building the majority of the precinct, being rugby, AFL netball, cricket and the gymnasium, just for any final approaches to things that we should consider moving forward. And we received information back from the Football Netball Club, from the Cricket Club and from the gym. Most, in relation to the issues from the Football Netball Club, we believe that most of that is in with the scope of the contract that we've got, and we're looking to rectify any of the issues that are there. The civil works, there's a current round of Stronger Country Communities Fund, which we've got application in for that, so hopefully we're successful in that and we'll be able to finish the civil work at the grounds. The same with the cricket club. When we first started this project for the Colliamley Sports Precinct, we had a budget, sat with all of the users, and all of the users identified in order of priority of what was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all of those sort of things. Money we had for cricketers only got so far. We went to the cricket club and they suggested we do the oval number 2 junior pitch, and we do the oval number 1 turf pitch. We're still to commence the work on the turf pitch. It's in plane, but that meant that we couldn't go ahead with the relocating of the 3-lane cricket nets. We're needing about $70,000-$80,000 or whatever it was to do that. So we've been looking for other avenues for that, and we're working with them on grant applications and doing those sort of things as we speak. We come down to the gym, and in the public forum this morning, we had representations from the gym. Obviously, their priority number 1 was the flooring that they spoke about. Priority number 2 was the fob system that they spoke about. Believe that we have a solution for the fob system. We'll know a little bit more later on. The costs to install the flooring that they're looking at is in the order of $33,000 to $35,000. Out of the forum this morning, and since they left, the Sweatbox Gym made a contribution of $10,000 for council to consider for the installation of the flooring at the Sweatbox Gym, and hence my recommendation is that council proceed with that, accepting that $10,000 contribution. Any questions, councillors? None.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, somebody like to move. Move Councillor Gilbert, seconded Councillor Kirby. And the recommendation will read, resolved on the motion of Councillors Gilbert and Kirby that the council install rubber flooring at the Colliambley Gym, accepting a $10,000 contribution from the Sweatbox Community Gym Incorporated towards the cost. I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you.
I can stop talking.
Okay, item 7, please, Tom.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So Briggs Road drainage has had extensive work done over the previous years, and part of a council resolution that indicated that there would be rear access to the rear of these properties. Due to the swale drainage running behind the properties now has stopped people from accessing the rear of the properties. So doing a quick analysis to put a disc drain crossing through there, it is either recommended that council allocate $28,800 towards placing this infrastructure in place. But what's just come from our Ben Cummins Avenue construction, we've got a lot of surplus concrete reinforced pipes now, and head walls from all the premises crossings. There may be an option here now to just put a pipe work system back in there other than putting a disc drain system in place, and a rough estimate would be around $15,000 to put this in place.
What's the superior? What would be the superior outcome?
Oh, that, we'll have a pipe system other than a disc drain. It'll probably help people access their rear properties without bottoming out with the caravans and etc. And I assume that most of those garages at the back hold either boats or caravans.
So it would be a better outcome.
It would be a better outcome, yes.
Using
The old pipes
I
on
wouldn't
Ben Cummins Avenue.
say
Reclaimed pipes.
reclaimed pipes.
Reclaimed.
Recycled.
Okay, so is there any further comment? Councillor Wells.
Along with that, by putting those culverts in, that would still be able to be maintained by council as far as the drainage and the mowing of that area.
That's my understanding,
Yeah.
that we maintain it still today.
Yeah, what I was saying is that it would be still easy and maintainable by
Yes.
council.
Yes.
Yeah,
with
easy
the-
maintained.
Exactly, with the culverts in place, yeah. So the recommendation would now change.
You meant to have them ahead of time.
To read, what would it read, Tom?
That which you call them recycled pipes, I
Yeah,
assume, from
recycled
Ben
pipe.
Cummins Avenue.
Reuse.
Reclaimed.
Repurposed.
Whatever. Pipes from Ben Cummins Avenue.
Yeah, to be constructed at the 12 allocated at Murrumbidgee Boulevard properties for a cost of 15,000.
Are you writing it down?
No, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right.
No,
Still
no,
on?
Yeah, it's
All right, okay.
we
It's
need
not a
it up
sentence
there.
yet. Okay,
Not a cent.
we'll just take 5 till we get it as it should be.
Writing it down.
So Tom, we get rid of
Just get rid of the whole
the top one?
trapezoidal thing, yeah.
Okay.
That the concrete pipes from Ben Cummins Avenue be reutilised to the 12 Murrumbidgee Boulevard properties.
Concrete pipes from Ben Cummins Avenue.
Well, if you watch up there, you'll see how Ben Cummins Avenue.
Yeah, to be reclaimed
And recited
That's okay, recited, yeah.
Repurposed.
At the 12,
Rear entrances.
it's the Murrumbidgee Boulevard properties.
No, Brits Road properties.
Yeah.
They're Bridge Road.
Brits Road.
Murrumbidgee Boulevard.
Murrumbidgee Boulevard.
Would you, at
The rear entrances.
And then properties identified as having rear access to Brits Road is still there. Why did you get rid of that?
12 Murrumbidgee,
Properties.
is it Murrumbidgee Road?
Boulevard.
Murrumbidgee-
Boulevard. Properties identified as having rear access to Brits Road. At council's cost of 15,000.
Put that next further down.
And then the next line would be construction cost of 15,000 be funded from, and you can get the savings word out within the culvert replacement program. Are we happy with that?
Yep.
It's not telling you what type of drainage you're putting in, you're
Oh,
just
you
putting
can put in-
concrete pipes in or you're, it's
Con-
not
or-
really giving you.
To form a,
You haven't got heights, just headwalls.
These stone pipes.
Concrete pipes, yeah, with head walls then, please. And if you want the dimension, it's a 375 mil pipe, so.
Are they that big?
So you'll be able to stop the pooling of water between the properties by doing this?
Oh,
Yeah.
in between the access gates, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're raising the invert by
Well, that's what we're
375 mil
sited
now.
now. It's reclaimed and recited. So you've got the pipes and head walls. So recited is putting them back in. Yeah, so it's okay.
yep, okay. Is there any further comment regarding that? If not, would somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Curfew, seconded councillor Churgwin. And it will, the recommendation will be that on the motion of councillors Curfew and Churgwin, that 1, 375mm concrete pipes with head walls from Bencoven Avenue to be reclaimed and recited at 12 Murrumbidgee Boulevard properties identified as having rear access to Brits Road, and 2, construction costs of $15,000 be funded from within the culvert replacement program 2021/2022 financial year. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Thank you. Item 8, please.
Good afternoon, councillors. Just reporting on the position of the monthly cash investments. The period ending September, 30th of September. You will note that the average interest rates currently sitting at 0.27%. And so that this morning I have signed the newest investment portfolio for 0.15%.
In the money,
1-5.
not losing money.
So when are we giving them money to hold on to it? And when do we pay them?
Well, the US Reserve Bank reckons they're going to start raising interest rates, so
Okay.
And presented a statement of balances.
Very good.
Okay. Somebody like to move, any questions of Vicky? Somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Brown, seconded councillor Black. Recommendation will read, that council note the monthly cash and investment report containing the bank balances and schedule of investments as at 31 August 2021. With the recommendation, those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. Item 9, please.
Can't see Kelly in the room, but it's just the list of the development applications approved under delegation for August 2021. Any questions?
Any questions? If not, somebody like to move the resolution? Moved Councillor Curfew, seconded Councillor Smith. And the recommendation will read that the information contained in the development applications approved under delegation August 2021 be noted. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against, carried. Thank you. There being no further business, that's the end of the council meeting. Thank you very much for your attendance.